Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of Behind the Counter. In this episode, we're going to be doing our review of Captain Marvel and a certain new preview that got dropped just the other day, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of Underground Video Network's Behind the Counter. I'm Michael Baroff.
I'm Richard Ketterjohn.
Hey, and we've got a review of Captain Marvel coming up. Need to get it out before I forget. Spoilers.
yeah, definitely spoilers. It's been 3 weeks as taping of this, or actually it's going in the 4th week, so you've seen it by now.
Yeah, but there's no way I'm going to be able to hold back. So I got a chance to see it at the theater, and I was impressed. I really enjoyed Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was a character I am familiar with in the comic books. Again, it's not one that, she's not a character that, how do I put it, actively pursued. I've always read most of her books, or most of her character in Avengers or, group books. I will say, though, here recently I have been reading the, I don't want to say the relaunch, but the Life of Captain Marvel, and it has been, it is a good book. It is a very good character book. It really goes into the story of Carol Danvers.
And the movie, it's an origin story.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, it's an origin story. It tells the origin of how she got her powers and all this stuff. But I like the way they did it because you didn't know for sure what was going on right from the start.
No, you didn't. We know that Carol Danvers is, from Earth.
Right.
But when we're first introduced to her in the movie,
because her flashbacks had like blue blood.
Yeah.
And we didn't understand that. I was a little, and some other little things, it dropped misdirection or something like that.
Yes. She was part of the Kree Empire.
Right.
I liked their take on the Supreme Intelligence.
Yeah, we still might see that. That might be down the line.
I know, because, we're old comic book fans, and, it's like, I know what I think of when I think of Supreme Intelligence. I think of the big green blob with the little tentacles, and I'm like, I'm in charge of everything, But it was a great way that they handled it. I liked that how it was almost like godlike, where only you see your interpretation of the Supreme Being, and you're not to tell anybody what you saw. And it was a great way for her to have that question and doubt of her memories.
This? Yeah, who is this?
I will say this, though. I am familiar with the comic books. I liked her origin in the movie way better than I liked her origin in the comic books.
It's very similar.
Very similar, but...
It means that it's almost identical if you had the original origin, because the reactor blows up, she gets her powers. So the original Captain Marvel in the Marvel universe saves her. So. Yeah,
and it seemed like almost haphazard and like accidental in the comic books, or was kind of like a oops.
She had to be saved.
Yeah,
because it was the 70s, people.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed the origin of her powers, and I mean, when you really think about, it was great how they were able to explain how she's going to be such the powerhouse. She's powered by an Infinity Stone, really. She has, you know what I mean? She got her powers through the energy of the Tesseract.
Yep. And it ties in good. And it gives us that little missing time frame of the Tesseract.
Yes. Yeah, like how did, at the beginning of the Avengers, how did it fall into S.H.I.E.L.D.'s hands?
Yeah, because, we knew Stark had it, so Stark was part of S.H.I.E.L.D., so.
Yeah.
But we didn't understand, we got to see a little more and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was neat having, the set in the 90s.
Oh, look, let me explain something to you. I worked at a Blockbuster Video. I spent a good hunk of my formative years behind the counter of a Blockbuster Video. So when I saw that first preview, when I saw them crashing in, I know the way previews go. A lot of times they shoot stuff that, isn't actually in the movie. I'm like, I want to see my Blockbuster. And I thought it was nice, the one little tie-in they did, one nice little nod, is when she crashes into the Blockbuster as she's walking through, she picked up a movie box. And you remember what that movie box was?
Right Stuff.
The Right Stuff. Why? Astronaut. That was... See, it's small little details like that really pull me into a movie. And I really liked that. I liked her interaction with her being back on Earth, considering that she didn't,
she didn't know she
didn't know, yeah.
You mean C-53?
Yes. We got to see young Nick Fury and young Phil Coulson.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I just love me some Phil Coulson. I was just happy to see him. Not as predominant as, we thought, but it was still very nice,
Yeah, we got to see that maybe he will break rules.
Yeah.
That's what I got out of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he does break a lot of rules eventually.
I think one of the biggest things that I liked about the story was the complete 180 it took from what we know from the Marvel comic book universe. And this is a huge spoiler. I think we all thought the same thing when we first saw the previews for Captain Marvel, when we saw the Skrulls.
Oh, yeah.
I think we all thought the same exact thing. We all thought we knew where it was going. Oh, this is how they're going to do the next phase in Marvel, And then, in an instant...
It still might happen, though.
It still could. This was...
I don't know. What we're talking about is the Skrulls technically aren't bad in Captain Marvel.
Yes.
But that could be just a clan.
That's
how I'm looking at it. That just could be one there because they were spread out throughout the universe.
This is true.
Their home planet was destroyed, and they hate the Kree. So why aren't they bad? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't be this little peace-loving people stranded and not hate the. It was too fluffy.
Yeah.
That's the only part of the whole movie I did not like.
In the comic books, the Kree are shapeshifters. They're conquerors. Skrulls. What did I say?
Kree.
Oh well. In the movie, they're
They're technically shapeshifters. They're blue and they're white. So.
Yeah, but in the movie, the Skrulls that we're introduced to aren't the world-conquering, just bad guys that we were led to believe in the comic books, and they still could. The group in the movie.
Even that group in the movie could be too. Maybe they're just using Carol Danvers to get back to their home planet and they'll turn on her.
Well,
we haven't seen part 2 yet.
This is true. But within the movie,
I know where they're going with it. It's happening in the real world right now, in another location, and they're playing up to that. And I don't want to get into that.
Yeah, but they weren't portrayed as conquerors. The Skrulls in the movies were portrayed as refugees, and it was the Kree that were
they're not heroes; they're actually conquerors.
Yes.
And Kree are supposed to be heroes, but conquerors at the same time.
Right.
It's different. They're Romanistic.
Yeah. The one thing about the movie that I'm glad none of my friends spoiled anything for me, but I wish they would have warned me about that first opening sequence with the Marvel credits.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm sitting there in the theater and I hear the music, and then there's Stan Lee. There's Stan Lee and Stan Lee, and I'm sitting there in the theater like, nope. I love that. I thought that was a great touch, and that was a great cameo too.
Yeah, it makes the Mallrats canon in Marvel Universe.
Yes,
right?
Yeah. So we might see Dante, kicking it with Ant-Man. Who knows? But that was a great cameo. I really enjoyed Brie Larson's portrayal of Carol. She just brought a lot of different levels to everything. She showed that she could be a captain. She could be focused and
right,
militaristic, but when we got to see her, especially with the flashbacks and with her friend, we got to see the Earthling side. That's what she did very well. Is before she lands on Earth, we get to see the Kree side of her with a little bit of that human, essence thrown in.
Because she didn't feel like she fit in with the other Kree. So
But then when she comes back, to Earth, it was almost like flip-flop. We see her Earthling side with that, added Kree element to it, And she became, very well-rounded. I thought her portrayal was great. There were moments in there where with just a smirk or, especially like the moment when she looked at Stan Lee. It was just it was just that little look where, she spoke for all of us, just like, I like this guy. He's okay. It's like she knew, it's like, I like this guy. He's okay. a lot of great 80, or a lot of great 90s nods.
No, definitely.
And it just makes me feel so old knowing that stuff makes people feel nostalgic. I guess I thought one of my favorite scenes in it though was when she was fighting the Kree, and No Doubt's Just a Girl came on. Man, that was some action to soundtrack action right there. I thought that was great.
The whole soundtrack's pretty cool. I listened to it the other day while I was painting, and yeah, you know.
And here's the kicker. I had a friend of mine ask me. She asked me. She goes, "Are you going to pick up the soundtrack?" I'm like, "I don't need to, because that's all the music I listen to." I went through the soundtrack. I'm like, it's all almost already there on my playlist. There's like maybe one or two songs I had to add.
Yeah. But no, it was great, and I loved how she touched bases on S.H.I.E.L.D., the hat.
Oh, yeah, you guys just walk around with your logo slapped on everything.
Spies walking around, you know.
Yeah.
I loved that part. That was...
And we got to learn the origin of Nick Fury's eye patch.
You mean the Kree didn't burn it out like you said?
I liked it. And here's why I liked it. Because Nick Fury is... When you go back, you go back to Winter Soldier when someone asks him about the eye, and he says it's because I trusted somebody I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Nick Fury is the kind of guy who would not admit that he lost his eye because a kitty scratched him. No, he's got to keep that brave bravado. It's like, no, man, I trusted the wrong person. He trusted a cat.
Well, it wasn't even a cat.
Well, it wasn't even a cat. It was a Kurgan. You know. Which even the trailers and the action figures kind of misled you on there, because you thought, you see all this stuff with, Captain Marvel and she's got Goose. Goose was not Carol Danvers' kitty. Goose was Nick Fury's kitty. That was a bond right there between Nick and Goose.
And I like her influence on the actual Avengers project initiative. I mean,
that was great. That was a great reveal when they showed her jet.
Yeah,
Carol. Oh, I did. I liked it a lot how it tied so much of like some of the loose fragments. Like Ronan the Accuser.
Right.
It wasn't just a title he instilled on stuff. That was his position.
Oh yeah. It was like that's what. It's based around the Roman Empire.
Mm-hmm.
They had accusers that went out with an army and did stuff. So it's loosely based on real contacts. But it was funny. Now, is Carol Danvers the first Avenger, not Cap?
Quite possible.
If the initiative was formed by Nick Fury.
Yeah. But I thought the special effects are great, man. When she removed that little inhibitor. And she really lights up for the first time.
She went binary.
Yeah. Which, we're not going to spoil anything, but there are so many more Easter eggs throughout Captain Marvel that tie into the actual comic book that...
Proton!
Yeah. Her friend's daughter. I did like when she was adjusting the costume.
Oh, yeah.
The color scheme went to her old black and...
white. Or no,
gold.
Green. Well, yeah, did that one.
Because it had the silver...
But it also went back to Marvel's original costume,
yeah.
too. That's what I thought she was going with.
Yeah. Oh, I loved her. But like I said, when she lit up for that first time, man, and she just... Man, that was awesome.
Yeah. She went Jean Grey on us.
Oh, man. And she just lit everybody up. And then when, what was it, Ronan, he's looking out, he's like, yeah, we're out. We're out. Like, leave him alone, But it was a great explanation as to why, with everything that happened in the Marvel Universe, why somebody as powerful as Carol wouldn't have stepped in. She wasn't here.
Yeah.
And not only was she not here, purpose of the movie, she was off doing a noble thing.
Right.
She was off to help the Skrulls.
And fighting the Kree. So,
yeah.
So something's going on, that takes place between, you got 20 years before,
And it still leaves a huge question unanswered, because one of the Easter eggs that everybody was quick to point out during Infinity War was the scene with Ebony Maw when they're in New York and he's got, the big guy.
Oh, yeah.
If you pause it, it's not just like kind of subtle. He's wearing a sash that looked very similar to Captain Marvel's uniform. And that's kind of, you know, what was one of the directions everybody thought it was going to go. And it still could. We don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be another Captain Marvel and made all this money, you know.
And I have a feeling with everything that's going to go down in Endgame, you know, they're viewing this as the starting point for the next
finishing
phase
of the first half.
Yes.
Starting of actually a whole nother. I mean, I think they're just going every which way from now on.
Yeah.
And more cosmic. Maybe we'll have Star Wars.
It could be. You know, we've seen how good it looks in Guardians of the Galaxy. We've seen how good it plays in.
And we're getting a nice director back for the third Guardians of the Galaxy.
We could do an entire episode just on that. But the fact that James Gunn has been rehired to do Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is some of the best news I've heard. Quick impression. I'm a Marvel executive. Oh, we want James Gunn out of here. Hey, by the way, did you hear DC hired him? Oh, get him back on the phone. You know, it's like, nice cover. Good move, but come on, you're not fooling anybody. But I did. Captain Marvel, I thought was amazing. I thought it was a great adventure story, a great sci-fi adventure story.
And suitable for all ages.
It really was. Yes, it really was. Because there were some elements like Winter Soldier, great comic book movie. It was a little heavier and
on the spy stuff.
On the spy stuff, you know, it wasn't as much for children as I would say some of the other movies were. But this one was definitely one that I would rush out and take my nieces and nephews to go see. Richard, what was your final?
Just waiting now for the next movie.
Mm-hmm.
April's 26th, can't get here any faster.
Which we want to go ahead and go right into.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, here very recently, the latest Avengers Endgame trailer dropped, and wow. Now, it feels weird to talk about the trailer because Kevin Feige has come out and said, I put a lot of misdirection in this trailer.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of what we saw might not actually even be real.
You could see, like, missing stuff, you know? I mean, it's worse than Thor's last movie. You know, they had so much stuff not even in the movie.
Yeah. So it's hard to comment because he's like, I'm going to talk about this. Well, that was shot specifically for, you know, the trailer. So it might not actually happen.
And even the little after credit scene in Captain Marvel ties directly straight into, because that was actually shot by the brothers that did Endgame. So
yeah. But still, we can't not talk about it. It looked amazing. Right out of the gate, very somber.
Yeah, it's like they're getting ready to do their revenge more than, you know, or
they are getting ready to avenge
the fallen.
Yeah, which I thought was great. I love their marketing campaign right now with like the posters, you know, where all the people in, you know, Avenge the Fallen in color are the people who survived, and all the people that are in like the black and white monotone are the ones that
international poster that just dropped, that was crazy.
That was amazing.
The Japanese one, I think, showed everybody, because even had everybody that dusted at the bottom. So who knows?
But yeah, because the trailer dropped at the 1 month mark,
right?
And I'm excited for it. Oh, the other big news is they officially announced the runtime for it. 3 hours.
Well, here's the thing with a 3 hour movie: is anybody going to buy concession? Are they just going to skip concession and just sit through it?
Yeah.
Because do they really want to get up? You know?
Yeah.
I don't think they thought this through. I think theaters should have went ahead and jumped through and had an intermission so people can.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Look at Lord of the Rings.
I know.
Look at Lord of the Rings.
But it wasn't total 3 hours.
It was up there.
It was up there. I've been to some 3 hour movies where they have intermissions. I saw Gone with the Wind in the theater. You have an intermission.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'd feel about that because
Because that's how they used to do it, because they had to do real changes in the day. Yeah. And I actually saw it on film, so.
What do they do now? Change the flash card? It's like, oh, click.
It's not even flashcard. It's all done by downloads.
Yeah.
That way no one can steal the movies.
Yeah. Until you get the blue screen of death in the middle of a movie. But we're seeing so much. In the trailer, we got to see Return of Hawkeye.
Right.
Which one of my favorite memes, and I guarantee you've seen it, is it seems weird that one of the biggest things people are talking about, honestly, one of the biggest things people are talking about after watching that preview was Hawkeye's hair.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so much stuff happens, but we're like, what the, is that, what's, come on. But you got a picture of, up here you have a Hawkeye, you know, and then underneath it is another picture of Hawkeye with the hair, and it's Hawkeye, Hawkeye. And I'm like, come on, man, how are we supposed to do, am I just gonna, like, take, like, a half a wig and just, like, glue it, like, right here? It's like, come on, man, give me something to work with, people.
I sent a message right away.
Yeah. I'll just take what wig I do have, roll it into a roll, and just put it, like, right here.
Buy a coonskin cap.
Oh. I'm excited to see the Ronin costume.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, I've seen some leaked set pictures, but I really liked the Clint Barton's run as Ronin in the New Avengers.
Oh yeah.
That was badass because it reminded you not only is he a great marksman, he's not just great and a great archer.
He's a weapon.
He's a weapon, man. You put anything in that man's hand, and that's something I really wish that they would have touched on more with Hawkeye in the movies.
Maybe we'll get a little bit of that in the Black Widow movie.
True.
Hopefully.
And that was the other scene that I'm on the wall about if I believe it's real or if I believe it's misdirection. But when they show that what looks like a flashback scene with Hawkeye and his daughter.
Oh yeah.
But I had a friend point out. She goes, "How do you know it's a flashback scene? How do you know that's his daughter? That could be him
dreaming."
Know. Yeah. Kate Bishop. We've been talking about where Marvel's going. Into the next phase. We know Chris Evans and all them are, talking about stepping down.
Or doing cameos.
Or just doing cameos. If Jeremy Renner feels the same way, I would love to see Kate Bishop's Hawkeye in the movies. I would love to see that.
It's going to be a whole new world after April, so.
Yeah. This is...
Then Spider-Man goes on vacation. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, hey, I'm back, all right. How much time has passed since Endgame? Because he's just like, I'm going on vacation. Ignore the fact that I was wiped from existence. Just, like, man.
So something's...
Yeah. So very much looking forward to it.
Because I'm not worried.
No. But definitely you want to stay tuned here because I can promise you that shortly after the movie comes out, you are going to get a big spoiler-filled... We've been good. We might do a spoiler-free preview, but you definitely want to tune back here to see what our reaction to it was.
And it'll be Free Comic Book Day weekend.
That's right. Richard, can you tell everybody where they can find us at?
You can go to undergroundvideonetwork.com, and you can find all our socials there except for MySpace because I removed you.
Took away all of our music, man. How...
Damn all our episodes.
That's right.
They erased our episodes.
Tom, we loved you. We treated you good, and this is what you do to repay us?